So I'm just sitting here, and I'm really just pondering and meditating on the community that calls themselves readers and spiritual gurus. These people are full of shit. Like, don't even involve yourself in tarot. Like, it's so crazy how I found out how these people knew who I was and how powerful I am the entire time. And these tarot readers were lying and going along with the fake birthdays and dates along with these people. And you may say, well, what do you mean? Well, if someone's born in March, but they're claiming to be born in November, and the tarot readers are referring to that person as a Pisces when they're a Scorpio, well, that gets shaky, right? Because now you're identifying the person, right? The half truth, like that's what Satan does, in plain sight. The half truth is you know this person based on the lie they've told you to be born in the month of March. Really, they're born in the month of September or November, right? So then when you do research on this person, the reason why it may resonate with your gut but not with your mind is because based on the information you've been fed. So when you come to realization that the person and the astrology readings that you most resonated with were of this person's original birthday, and now you see that these people collectively were lying, pushing on a facade and image to go. Why? Because they're all in on it. It's not just these people don't have any money to pay these readers, man. It's deeper than money. Okay? These people get their money and livelihood off keeping the secrets and working for the occult and societies that they do. That's why they tell you gotta join a sorority and a fraternity. Why? Because they increase your likelihood of becoming wealthy and rich. Why? It's a brotherhood. It's a networking center. But if you notice all these fraternities and sororities, so-called black, especially these HBCUs, you still have hoods, you still have poverty, you still have EBT, you still have welfare. And these fraternities and sororities have been in business since 1908, 19 this, right? So you have 100 some odd years of these societal groups claiming to be for the people, and yet 100 years you still a slave. 400 years a slave, and still 100 years a slave. These people are subservient to the reptilians, the draconian races. These people are subservient to the grays and those that have the only interest in creating chaos, APEP. Um, these people don't wish you any well. It's for self-gratitude. It's for self-preservation. Self-preservation works when you are a lawyer, when you are someone that is out here trying to strive for the better of a community, but first realizing that you have to be preserved in your own right, which means discipline, morale, and character. Self-preservation lasts as long as the mission does. Once you've preserved yourself, now you can go and teach others, right? We have many teachers, but what separates a teacher is their ability to retain and reciprocate, right? That's why you have a favorite teacher, because that favorite teacher was able to retain that information and reciprocate, regurgitate that to students individually based on their learning ability, right? So the teacher that didn't make you feel less than the others because how they were able to word and demonstrate what they needed you to get done, right? Which then allows you to retain the information in your individual way. So why you can then pass a class. But most classes that you couldn't pass were hard because why? The teacher was one-dimensional. We are dealing with one-dimensional beings. We live in a three-dimensional space, and we operate on five-dimensional spheres and mentalities and spiritual insight. At least I do. So that's the complexity of this situation. You're dealing with people literally that will never reach the heights and levels that you will. So they have to manipulate their mind, body, and soul, i.e. selling out, to have access to these realms that we naturally have access to, both good and evil, right? And so that's why these people are in a dilemma, because they're jealous that we didn't have to do what they had to do to get the connections that they have to, not knowing that the connections they have to only come from one-dimensional sources. Evil. I speak to both dimensions, light and dark. Both of them have to work for me. I command these forces. with gratitude, knowing that what I'm issuing out is in good faith, knowing that they can for surely get the job done without any interference. Why? Because karmatically, it is justice. It's justified. And who helps me get this karma? The dumbasses who've done things to me undeservingly for the last decade or so. So what they did was give me more rights and freedoms to have judgment over them that I already had prior to. There's no protection over them. They're doomed. And they don't like that. That's why they have to play mind games. And mind games don't work on a mastermind.